So let's go from day to night and see how these lights perform. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. So under the budget tech banner this time, it's some more bike lights. Full disclosure, Vastfire sent me their bike light set for free to try out and review, but as always, it's completely my own thoughts. So let's get started. First of all, I'll kick off with an unboxing. So from the packaging, things to be aware of, I'd say the IPX65 rating and the fact you can use the front light as a power bank is nice to see. The actual marketing on the box, I think otherwise maybe confuses things a bit. So the micro USB charging mention, actually the front light charges via USB-C, the rear light charges via micro USB. Both cables are included in the box. And then the features mentioned on the back again, you know, a bit vague, but you get the idea. Let's just get into the box and take a look at these and see how good they are. So without further ado, let's try and get inside these. So you're just going to need to cut the bottom tape, and then the box opens up nicely to get inside. And straight away you can see what you're dealing with. So you've got your cables and your rear light at the top there, and then you've got the large front light in its own little pouch that I'll show you in just a second. So this looks like the USB-C cable for charging the front light. You can obviously use that as well to charge your phone from the device. I'll show you that in a bit. And then here's the rear light along with its micro USB cable for charging that one, and it's got a rubber band just to fix it around your post on the back of your bike. See if this will open up so I can get inside there and actually show you. And you know, the rear light, as you may expect, is not the star of the show here. Perfectly adequate, but of course the rear light is really for you to be showing yourself up to other road users, whereas the front light is perhaps more important about lighting your way and giving you clear vision ahead. So yeah, here it is, pretty basic rear light. You'll see I actually had a problem with this rear light, so this first one didn't work, but Vastfire were great. They just sent me a replacement really quickly. No such issues with the front light. Don't really know what the problem was with this rear light. It would charge, it just wouldn't actually power on. You can see me here just trying to get out and show you the rear port there for micro USB charging. So just obviously simple plug-in jobby, and then I've just been using an old phone charger both for the front light and the rear one, just because especially the front light, although it's USB-C, it won't like you plugging into any kind of modern fast charger. It'll just want a steady low stream of power. So yeah, there's the cable, there's the rear light. Let's try and dig in a bit more into here and see what goodies we've got for the front. So you've got a mount here to mount the front light, and you'll see in a minute the front light is a bit of a unit. It is a big light. So you've got a permanent plastic kind of fasten on mount here for it to sit in. The nice thing about the mounts, you've got a clip underneath that lets you remove the light from it, and you can also toggle that left and right when it's on the bike, so you can get a bit of direction on there. You can see the bottom just tightens up. There's the clip, and you just adjust that. It's got some padding inside as well, so you just adjust that around your front bar, and that'll hold the light nicely in place for you. As I say, it is a bit of a unit. You'll see what I mean in just a second, but it, you know, being a unit is because it's got a big battery and it's got some pretty powerful LEDs in it. So there's a nice pouch here that they send it to you in. They didn't need to do that, but it's really handy to have that. You're not going to want to leave this light on your bike if you're locking up somewhere, so you can remove it, have this pouch with you, chuck it in your bag and keep it safe. So here it is. Taking it out for the first time, you certainly feel the weight to it. I'll weigh it in a minute and show you. And then you've got this simple one button control on there, and an LED readout. That little mark there, so there is a protective bit of film you just need to remove, so that's not a mark on the unit. Underneath, obviously that clips onto the base, and you'll just see under there as well the USB cover, but I'll show you that in a minute. You can see the 5 LEDs on the front, and just generally a nice design. It's grippy enough. Let's get under that cover. So yeah, you can see USB-C input on the bottom there for charging, and then a standard USB-A output connection if you want to use it as a power bank and charge your phone or similar device. So a nice touch. They didn't need to include that, but they obviously have, so nice to have that option. And then let's see if we can turn this on. Yeah, so there we go, straight into the strobe lighting. If I hopefully click through that, I'll show you how the controls work in a minute. But there's essentially 4 levels of brightness that you can put this through. You see it change into level 2, then it will change into level 3. You won't go straight into level 4, I'll have to show you that in a minute, but to get into level 4, the very highest brightness, you actually do a double click. So kind of sensible idea. You wouldn't just automatically get into that, you have to knowingly want to press to get into it, so you do a double tap if you like on there to get into it. There we go. So I think you would have seen there 4 flashed up very briefly as I went into that very top light mode. And then if you hold down, you get the flashing mode, hold down to power off, click once to power back on, and click again to cycle through levels 1, 2 and 3. And then again, if you want to get into that 4th level, just tap twice and it will go into the 4th level of brightness. So pretty clever. The reading of 8 on there is actually the power left in the battery, so it goes all the way up to 9, and then it will steadily go down, obviously back down to 1, to I think it does actually go to 0 and flashes just before it will actually die on you. But obviously you've got some pretty good warning there of how it's doing. So really useful to have that readout to know how much you've got left in it. You might want to drop down a level of brightness, for example. And then here's the instructions in the box that of course explain how I've just outlined how you will work that light, how you'll cycle through those different modes, and it's all explained well enough. So I'll just give you a quick demo of the rear light as well. So there's 3 main light levels you get through clicking through, so that's just a steady constant on version of the light. And then there's also 2 versions of flashing, you can see at a different speed of the light. So nice options there for you on the rear light. Is a fairly basic light, and as you'd expect with a set like this, the front light is really going to be the main attraction if you like, but the rear light certainly does an ample job of making sure that you're seen on the road. And for fitting, it's just a simple rubber band around the back, so nicely doing the job there. So something else to show you with the front light, it also has the ability to lock the control. So they say this is useful for travel mode, so I guess if you're going to throw this in your bag or you just don't want it to accidentally turn on, if you tap this consecutively 5 times, you'll see it go to L for lock. So let's try that. Okay, see that L flashing there? So it's now locked, so if it's in my bag or anyone's tapping, trying to turn it on, basically it's not going to come on, it's just going to flash L at them. The way you actually get out of lock is to then hold down for, I think it's about 5 seconds. And there we go, it's back on at that point, back to level 1. Just tap through to 2, tap through to 3, double tap to 4, and then I'll go back and turn it off again. Okay, so that's one other extra thing. There's also a bit of extra functionality you may have seen when I took the USB cover off here. As well as having the USB-C to charge the light, you've also got output over USB-A. So in fact, you can do things like charge your phone or even charge the rear light off of this main light. So if I just plug in now and show you, make sure I've got that the right way around. So plugging in off of the main light, and you can see the rear light has now started to charge, indicated by that blink. As I say, you could use this as a power bank to recharge your phone if you really needed to, or any other USB device that could draw off that battery. So I'll just give you a quick weigh and show you the weights of these lights. So the rear light, very light indeed, about 18 grams as you may expect. The front light, as I say, quite a unit, coming in at 200 grams. So just to show you how the 2 lights are when they're charging, both with their supplied cables, I've just plugged them into some old phone chargers. The front light, as you can see, there's that flashing kind of dot down by the level indicator. So I'm just topping up from being at level 8 already, and that's connected on the back with that USB-C cable that it comes with. So just going in underneath, and then the rear light, as you can see, it's blinking on and off Red, as you'd expect, just plugged in with the micro USB cable, again that it comes with, just popped into the back there. So you can just see the two ways in which they indicate their charge. Obviously the front light more advanced with that USB-C cable and the LED readout of the battery level. Okay, and once they're fully charged, the rear light just goes to a steady red, as you can see, and of course the indicator on the main light reaches 9, its top capacity, and the dot is just solid there. So I think the rear light probably took about 2 hours on the charge there, and I think I probably had about an hour and a half for the main light, just going from 8 up to 9. So just gives a bit of an indication of some of the charge speeds. As I say, that was just running off of a old standard phone charger. Okay, so let's do a battery life test for high mode on the main front light. So they say it can go up to 4 hours in that mode. So if you remember, I'm going to click 1, 2, 3, double click. That's now into high mode. I'm going to start timing and see how long that lasts for. So just over 2 hours into the test and we're showing at level 5, so seeming pretty good so far based on the claims. So just over 4 hours in now on the highest setting and the battery's still going, so we're at level 3, so I'll see how much longer this lasts for. Okay, so we're up to 4 hours 20 now, and you can see it's actually down to 0 on the power indicator LED and it's flashing that dot next to it. So let's see how much longer we can squeeze out of this on the full brightness setting. So I left the video recording and it was just over 4 hours and 27 minutes when this happened and the light finally gave up the ghost. Having said that, even when this happened, it would power back on just for a little bit, but fair play to Vastfire, they've claimed 4 hours at this high quality or highest power mode and it's doing nicely over that, so fair play to them for that. Great battery life. Okay, and now to test how long it's going to take to get a full recharge back into this after running it flat. So stopwatch has started, it's at 0 as you can see with that flashing dot. Let's see how long before it gets all the way back up to 9. Okay, just over 2 hours into the charge now and we're at level 3. Okay, and at just over the 7 hour mark, about 7 hours 5 minutes, we've hit the fully charged number 9. The dot has gone steady and that's 9, that's the maximum power, so the unit is now fully recharged. So to give you guys a look and feel of how the lights are on the bike and fitting them, so get that mount on the front first, just tighten that up underneath and then you've got that clip on, clip off, release. You can see the light on there now. Although it is a big light, it doesn't feel overly large once it's actually on the bike and you don't feel the weight as such in the bars as you may imagine. And then at the rear it's the top light, again sits pretty nice on the post there. Okay, so here's where I'm going to show you a test of the light at night time, of course, just so you can get an idea of what it's like in the daytime. I'm also going to test it against the Aldi Bikemate Cree LED front light that I showed you on the channel last year. I'll link to that in the top right now. Let's see how it performs at night time then. Here we are, full power on the Vastfire light, so that's going all the way up to that level 4 where you double tap it. You can see the batteries at full power, number 9 there as well, and I'm really impressed at the level of light and the vision ahead that this Vastfire gives you. Really can't fault it here, really excellent lighting of this track. And in a minute, just for fun, I'm going to compare it against the Aldi Bikemate Cree LED that I had with me. Bear in mind this is rated at about half the lumens of the Vastfire light, so probably not a fair comparison. Just one to give you an idea because I had it with me. Again, the Vastfire is going to outperform this, not a surprise, but just gives you a bit of an idea of the difference you might get. So I hope the video has been useful if you're trying to make a buying decision right now. If you want to check these lights out at Amazon, my affiliate link is in the video description down below. If you've enjoyed the video, if you have liked it, please do give it a thumbs up for a like, that's really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, why not check out some of the other content and decide if subscribing is worthwhile. Okay guys, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.